Cheers. Good morning, everyone. It's Miracles and Wonder live from Tugun, Queensland. Whoa. Yes, we've made it to another day. Some days it does feel like, are we actually going to make it? And I feel like there are a lot of people out there who don't hold much hope for this world. We're regularly bombarded by messages telling us that the end is nigh. I guess I'm just going to be a cheerleader for the other side. It's endless. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. The end is nigh. I don't know, I actually used to think I was very positive, and I've read all the books. In fact, someone gave me a bag of books the other day. My dear friend has just gone overseas and she's fabulous group worker with young people and just totally, has walked this journey of inspiring herself, like reading all the books that tell you how to think, to have a positive life, to affirm your every happiness, love and acceptance, to create abundance, to be successful. And yet stress is a constant companion to live up to this ideal. I know for me, I just spend my whole life whinging and looking for the thing that's going to go wrong pretty much more often than not. And when I'm not doing that, I feel like I'm telling my friends how they could change to be better. I wonder why you've tuned in. I'm really interested to know why you've tuned in, because I do feel really blessed. Like, I live this amazing life and I continuously meet extraordinary people. Like, I can fully see the living master in them. And yet quite often they're doing exactly what I do. Like they're feeling like their life is inadequate, or that they're have been inadequate in situations. So I'm just really fascinated, and have been for a long time fascinated, on how we continue to take that journey, how we continue to be in the wonder, to not take it as a journey, to not feel like we're trying to get somewhere, to not feel like we're trying to work everybody and everything out. And in order to do that, I just keep meeting exciting people, interesting people. I feel so blessed. I don't know how you're, and it's not even social circles, because it is just where I land sort of thing. I feel like it's not like I go out seeking an extraordinary life in the sense of, oh, what exciting person can I collect next? I think I did once. I think I did collect exciting people, because I thought if I was hanging out with exciting people, I would be more exciting. And then but it was that search. It was the searching for something more, for some new way of being in the world, that led me to experience so many different communities and so many different ways of being on the planet. Just in the last few weeks, I've been hanging out with the organic family, who in this suburb that, hasn't got the highest rating on the Gold Coast, because the Gold Coast is a pretty hip and happening town, and it's spread out along the beach. So you've got quite a diversity amongst it. And there is this sense that something creative is being seeded here, that wherever you look, there are little hubs and hives of activity where people are creating madly, like really creating some eclectic and interesting work. And so this little town that's on the freeway, kind of in the hinterland, but not, it's on a river, which is just beautiful. But, it's not the most spectacular mountains around here. It's not the most spectacular, that's in terms of sightseeing tourist destinations, it's just not quite it. But anyway, these people have created this space there. And I think that's the thing that I'm finding more and more in my travels, is that you look in the unexpected places and you find unexpected things. And that is very exciting. And when I say look in the unexpected places, again, it's not like I'm going out searching for the most exciting place to be with the most coolest people. It's like keeping your eyes open wherever you are. It's a sense of being ready. And I think most of us are being ready for another disaster. We are completely prepared for, what do they call them now? Not environmental catastrophes, but weather events and terrorist attacks and global warming. And we are prepared for debt, and we are prepared for insurance for our bodies and our lives and our houses and our cars. We're prepared for accidents of all kinds. We are ready and waiting and on the lookout for any problem that we can find. So what has happened to mankind? What do you think they will find if they're always on the alert, always looking for how they're going to get hurt? If we as a species don't feel related, how are we ever going to feel elated? If we feel like we're separate, and in effect, what on earth is going to happen next? It's funny because, whenever I'm saying these shows, it's not like I'm sitting here preaching to you, although sometimes it feels like that. I am just reporting back on the week. And I am just inquiring, and not in the way that I used to inquire, because the way that I used to inquire is that I would go, what is wrong with my life now? What is wrong with me? How am I going to work it out? Why am I behaving so badly? Why is she behaving like that? Why can't I change that? Why can't I fix her? Why can't I sort things out so that I get the outcomes that I want? Where are the outcomes anyway? Why aren't I getting the outcomes I was looking for? My life was very much filled with questions that made me feel less than, that made me feel like life was not enough, that made me feel like people around me were substandard, like we're failing in some way. And I don't know if you've ever had that experience when you suddenly do realize actually where you're operating from, like that you are actually not seeing your lover or your friend as equal and essential to your life, where you're actually kind of treating them like a throwaway commodity. Because it feels like, I don't know, it feels really obscure when you pick up where you're operating from, what beliefs you've actually taken on as your story, as your truth. And when we talk about the myths of, and this isn't just like pick up a book, read it, and go, oh yeah, I know that one, and then walk away with no really more self-awareness than you had before. This is where you actually recognize what is actually going on for you, and how those, if that is one of your beliefs that you read in that book, you're actually examining it from the place of where it plays out for you and what happens in your life And I'm not saying what outcomes you get or what impact you have on other people, but it is what happens to you. It's like how much stress you're under, how much effortlessness your life has, how much joy you're able to experience, how much of the range of feelings that you have that you are allowed to have without disowning yourself, pushing yourself away, beating yourself up, how much of you're allowed to embrace. And it is how much of you're allowed to embrace. Because so many of us are seeking, we're searching outside of ourselves to find what's missing, you know, the missing pieces that will fix us, that will give us the outcomes that we want. And that feeling is that kind of flawed, lack, loser, I don't know, you know, there's a lot of words for it, fail, you know, that paradigm that we're failing on the planet, that we're failing as a species, that we're failing to be good people. And no matter how hard we try, we're not good enough. And I think the most extraordinary thing for me is when I live with someone who doesn't have that expectation or that understanding of the world, and they actually do hold a space for you to have whatever belief you want without oh bless me without wanting you to change. They actually give you space to stand in your truth, because mostly other people are trying to change us as well, and so we go into defense mode and we're kind of always defending our beliefs, so we never really get to examine them. We never really stop. You know, we're always cheerleading for one idea or the other, and we're always defending our team. You know, and that goes for all kinds of things, you know, whether it's what we're eating, what teams we're barracking for, what kind of lifestyle we want to lead, what kind of health regime, what kind of sports we involve ourselves in, what kind of medications we take, whether we take medications or not, whether we're doing an alternative therapy. You know, the kind of processes and products we buy, like we're continually, and this is particularly when we feel separate, we're continually in competition with each other. Anyway, I was telling the story about going to this, a few different things, you know. One is the organic family, and they've set up this warehouse in this place that's, you know, as I said, not quite being cheerleaded for by anyone, or maybe by a few of the residents. For them, it's the best kept secret, which is the way it is. And they are experimenting in community. And my favourite thing is that I get to eat bunya nuts there. They roast bunya nuts, which are, I've told some people about them before, the most extraordinary food, a local food that is a giant nut that falls off the tree. Like, it's giant. You don't want to be under it when it falls. It's like bigger than my head, or as big as my head. And the nuts are, you know, a really significant size. So, of course, it was a major gathering thing. And it feels like so fabulous that the bunya nuts have been at their first food feasts, because it is a thing that brought tribes together around here. Now, in their space, there's a lot that goes on, but there's not a lot. It's a space for people to come together and talk and be and share food and share ideas. And there's plenty of kids running around. And I think it's beautiful when there is that range of ages in the space. It's really lovely. And I also went to a women's circle on the weekend as well. And, you know, it was another place where people with very diverse ideas were coming together and experimenting about how you can be together, talk about your beliefs, let people be, let people have their experience of the world and their perception of the world, and also stand strong in yours. It feels like that's really pushing at the moment, the feeling of how do we be ourselves? How do we be in this oneness thing? Total acceptance, total love, and not compromise, not be an effect of other people's way of seeing things, to really stand true and firm in what we know. Some days I just feel so full of stories, just so full. And other days I feel like you're on the same journey as me. Either you've just woken up or you're just luxuriating in the day, like having those moments where you actually allow yourself to be in appreciation for this miracle of life. I wonder what it would be if we could set our judgments and expectations free. But first we must embrace, recognize all the emotions that have been on our face, own them, allow them, give them permission and grace. Experience, not necessarily fate, is what makes us all perfect and great. And in our way of being, our purpose is what we are seeing. Used to think we were bent. Now we're realizing we're quite relevant. There are no mistakes. What we've got is what it takes. Look around and you will find, even if they don't seem like you're kind, every indication out there can be a universe that cares. What slant on it will we take? What significance of it will we make? Will we, our feelings, fake? Will we make ourselves wrong and break? Could we look at it a new way, where the universe is a place where we play, where we take what's coming in, the loudest point within, give ourselves permission to feel. Really, there's no such thing as to heal, because in this moment, life is sweet. It can be bitter. And still, when you feel that, the bitterness, the astringent qualities, the flavors that we've been trying to get rid of, we look back, because there's always that sense that after the fact, it makes more sense. We can see what we gained. We can see what happened that made sense of something. And we always make that sense of it from this place of it changed us. So we're always looking for where it's going to change us for the better. And I have been struggling with that because I don't even know anymore what is better or worse, or how I keep looking at myself and going, what kind of arbitrator am I? Like, in terms of being an arbitrator, the more I examine myself, I have no idea where my needs and judgments are coming from. Like, when I examine my judgments, sometimes I feel like I'm talking to a mad woman. I don't know, sometimes when you watch, say, Parliament, or I don't know, decision-making processes, and you just go, that is crazy. What are they trying to do? Do they even know what they're trying to do? Like, sometimes I look at my thought patterns and go, whoa, hang on, what is going on? Oh, okay, I'm trying to change them so they'll be like me. Oh, what? Okay, so if they were like me, then I would feel more like I belonged. I would feel safe. I would feel like I had a purpose to help them see where they can change. Or, oh, that's interesting. That's been working for me. Oh my goodness. That's what I've been doing, trying to change people to be more like me. Do I still want to do that? There's kind of there's that choice point which comes after you get acceptance for what you've actually been doing. Like, when you embrace, when you become aware and embrace what you actually are doing. That's what I mean about, you can read all those books and that can work to a point. And a lot of people go, why isn't this idea working for me? It makes complete sense, but I don't get why it's working for me. But quite often we reject what we are doing and try and impose something over the top of it. And then I end up in a spin, because what is out can't come in, what is in can't get out, and I am in a place where I scream and shout. I'm trying to push ideas away. I'm trying to make others stay. I'm trying to be something I'm not. I'm trying to give more than I've got. I'm trying to take and give anyway. Well, that is not how we've been taught to pray, to be where we are and to be with. It's what life's about. It's what it is. And if it isn't that. It's something else. So so if today I can be aware of all the things I see and how I interpret them to myself, leave my judgments on the shelf, open my mind to being kind to all the ways on being I find, to seek fascination and seek the wonder as I meander around this world down under. All this time looking for intuition to guide, It's neither in or outside. It's every moment as it is. It's universe's eternal kiss. Empathy and understanding are not true when they're demanding, when they are full of assessments and guesses, and they are making your friends less. If assumptions are the way you operate, then for the outcomes you'll always wait. Guessing here and guessing there. Wondering if you can but care. And now a guest I'm about to see, phoning in to talk to me. Oh, I was just trying to link in, and I will try and link her in. Let's see if I can find Rebecca. Oh, let's see. Is this her? So we're just picking up a call, and let's see if she comes in. Oh. Hey. So I am always inspired by a friend who seems to live her life in such simplicity. And it's not just a complicity. It's not just like, this is it.
Hello?
Hello. I can hear you.
Oh, hang on a second, dear. Hello?
I was just saying,
or do I need to switch?
We're actually on the radio show.
I can barely hear you, Louise.
Can I hear you?
Thomas Gordon says hi.
What a shame. Maybe she'll come in a minute. But what I really love about
now I can hear you better. I can hear you better.
It's very exciting. Is her ability to take every moment and be creative in it, and to be creative in a way that interacts with whatever is around her. And as we can see her now, she is walking around, interacting with everything around her as we speak.
Hi, it's so good to see you.
Sounds.
Yes. Hi.
We've just got a big smiling face.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Oh, so we've got our fabulous guest online, but there's no sound.
Can you hear me now? Oh, Louise.
So Becca is in Florida.
Louise, can you hear me?
She's getting ready to visit her ma and pa, but we can't hear her.
Oh, golly, I can hear you.
Which is a very big shame.
Louise.
Maybe because I'm on this, there's something new for me to figure out. Anyway, how to make sure that the sound comes on. Oh, we're at the swimming pool.
I
We're
can
doing
hear
a
you,
tour
Louise.
of Becca's,
You're so
wherever she's
goofy.
having a holiday at. It's very exciting
Hi.
to see her.
I wish you could hear me. I can hear you just fine.
Unfortunately, you're a bit like a puppet because I don't hear any words, but your mouth is smiling big.
Well, I wish I can hear you just.
Oh, someone's hopefully there's people out there who can do sign language. Because there's Rebecca, but we cannot hear her. Oh well, she's gone now. But that was a good little interlude. So it's interesting that I call in. It's not that I call in, but I go, what is the most miraculous thing I can find about a person? And there's someone who is so spontaneously in the moment, so super alert to her sensory perception. It is something I feel like I can totally be reminded of. Hearing and seeing and tasting and I really want to plug you in, but I can't find the sounds. I don't know why we don't have sound.
I wish you could hear me. Can you hear me now?
Oh. No, I think all I did just then was muted myself.
Oh, got it.
Well, this is one of those technical. I'm just texting because I can't seem to get sound, chica. Where is she?
Wait, something just
Still
beeped.
there talking, but I can't hear you.
Something just
Press all the buttons I can. I'll just have to talk to you after the show. It'll be super secret conversations. Oh, actually, it's so funny because part of me and Mel's Miracles and Wonder packages, like our mentorships that we do over a couple of months, you have to have done the Perfect Present course before you can get the mentorships. But it is one of our bigger mentorships. You amazingly get a session with Becca. You get Ken Stone's Spiritual Messenger course. There's just all these other. You get essential oils. You get candle making kits. It's just crazy, like, because it's just this very broad-reaching experience that you will have. So I encourage you to, as easily as 1, 2, 3, have an experience with the Perfect Present. This. Oh, Becca's back. She's inside now.
Yeah, I wish I could hear you.
Beautiful smile on. I still can't make the sound. Oh, actually, maybe you can hear her. Maybe it's just me who can't hear her.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
So, people, that was the Headless Buddha being completely headless because I was talking away and there's something wrong with my computer when I take the earphones out. It still doesn't realize it hasn't got earphones. Ha ha ha! Excellent. There was no technical difficulty. It was all in my head. And so, where are you today, Becca?
I am at home. I just got off work a few minutes ago, and I had to listen in.
I did not know you had a swimming pool.
I do.
And it's
out in
summer
my
there.
backyard. Yeah. I'm sorry?
Have you been using your swimming pool?
Oh, every morning, yes. I go into the every morning.
And I see, is it your grapes are still having amazing grapeness?
Would you like to, I'll take you to them real quick.
And I was just saying, which you probably heard and everyone else heard, but I'll say it again because I thought I couldn't hear it. No. um, the sense of wonder that you have in the natural world, like it doesn't matter where you are, you manage to see something that is enchanting to you.
Yeah.
Whether it's the light on the leaves.
Don't you love how the vines curly Q around? Isn't that sweet?
Yes, it's beautiful the way things grow up in that spiralness.
Oh, and there's a good spider house there. Spider web. I don't know if you can. Yeah. Yeah, they're growing very well.
And have you been eating them regularly?
They're so sweet. Well, no, actually, they're not going to be ready till August. They take a long time to grow. They get this.
August.
Yeah, they get this beautiful. They get about thumb size. Some are big as a quarter, and they get a coppery rose color with little brown freckles on them, and they're so sweet. Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's Haley and Honey. I'm sorry, the dachshunds across the street, across the yard. They're being silly.
They want to join in. They can probably smell the dogs that are walking past here. Ooh, that's an intense noise. When I was last in America, I got to spend a lot of time with Becca, and we got to share a room. And before it even arrived, she had decorated the windows in this most extraordinary way with this gorgeous tissue paper, and it was just, I don't know, it's like making a ceremony in every moment. And rather than making things significant, kind of signifying the moment, giving it its due. That's what it feels like. It feels like, I don't know, and even on our walk into town, just taking the opportunities that arose, letting life guide us. That sense that intuition is letting life guide us. It's very prevalent. And where has life been guiding you to lately, Miss Becca?
Hear me okay? Oh, been guiding me.
Where what have you been up to?
Oh, well, I've been exploring a lot with Rhonda Wada about my gifts and doing a lot more meditating. I do that about a couple hours a day, some in the morning and some at night. And I did the Gramercy Time grid meditation. It's my favorite one. And
also, for people who don't know, I'll just tell them about Rhonda is amazing, and she's a great mentor for people. She uses Enneagram process, but it's much more than that, because it really is bringing out letting you see where you're a gift and where you can really utilize that with people. And then the Gramercy Mansion that Becca's talking about, we have another darling friend, Ken Stone, who loves doing very clear sound. He's very good at sound. And he runs retreats, which he has one coming up. I think it's called is it the Soul Experience, the one coming up?
Yes. The Soul Reunion.
He has another one coming up called the Soul Reunion, but me and Becca have been so lucky to be at 2 of his previous retreats, and both of them beautiful. But Gramercy Mansion was a particularly lovely venue, and Oh, it was just
It was
lovely there. And so there was a couple of meditations that we got to keep from that. And yeah, that's the experience that she was just talking about. So when you relived that experience, how was that?
Oh, it's so great. Lately I feel like I kind of merge into whatever's around me, including the air, and my whole body feels really heavy, and then it just feels like it merges with the air in the bed or the whatever I'm lying on, and my breath gets really still, even though it's deep, it gets really still, and I've not been falling. I used to fall asleep when I first started meditating, and I kept thinking, I'm not doing it right, I'm not doing it right. And then Ken would say, no, that's just your body adjusting, recalibrating, and getting used to doing meditation, and you're still doing deep work. And it was interesting, after he told me that, I noticed that near the end of the meditation, I would, quote, wake up. So I wasn't falling asleep. That validated to me that I wasn't actually falling asleep, even though I didn't remember, 3/4 of the meditation process. But now that I've done it more, I think my body's used to it, and I'm able to remember, stay, I guess, in an altered state, but in a more awakened state. So I'm able to describe those things. But my like the last couple of days, my head has been very tingly, and I don't know, like it's kind of a weird thing to say, but kind of like I know that my head is closed. I can feel the top of my head, but when I touch it and the air comes in contact with my head, it still feels like there's things being transferred in and out of my noggin. I don't know how else to describe it, but like it's open to suggestion and open to more open-minded, I guess, maybe in a way, I don't know how to say it, but it just feels.
It's interesting that Becca's talking about
You're so
feeling open-minded. Especially when she's talking about, being more accepting of herself, of the experience she's actually having, and letting herself have the experience the way it is. That's really...
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's okay. I was just saying it's funny how you're using that term open-minded when it, really does feel like that sense of letting the experience come in, letting the experience be, and it is kind of like opening up to whatever's happening.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's what it feels like, I mean, I think a big thing about Ken's work that's really helped me is just the aspect of being more allowing and not having not only expectations of others, but expectations of myself. I mean, I have some expectations, like wake up and go to work, but, as far as being this certain weight or being, having all these goals, I was a huge goal setter, and I have a lot less of that now, and I'm not a lot kinder to myself, and I think it feels like, to me at least, for me it's helped. As long as I learn to be kinder to myself, then I become less judgmental of others. Less judgment of myself allows me to give others a break, and not be judgmental towards them, And then that also helps me be less frustrated with life in general, I guess.
Yeah. And I know for some people because I really resonate with the thing about goals and going, well, taking that pressure off around goals. But I know when you say that to people, they kind of go, well, how do you, do you get out of bed? What do you do then? How do you decide what happens next? So I was just wondering if you wanted to share a little bit of, I don't know, what it is you're following in life. If you're not pushing yourself with goals or, going after certain carrots over there, what is the, how is it that you kind of make decisions or you move through?
Yeah, I guess that's true. You have to have some place to start from. So, I recently went from a full-time job to part-time, and for me, that's the one thing I know I have to do each day, Monday through Friday, is work, do my job. And so I guess that's the base from which I work. And I'm very fortunate because, my kid has grown up and out of the house, and I don't have grandkids yet, so there's a lot less responsibility for myself. So it's easier to speak from my own experience at this point in time than if I would be a young mother that had other responsibilities in addition to having a job. But what's worked for me so far is when I wake up is to just know that today is a different day than it was yesterday. And so that gives me a chance to do something different if I want, or I could make the same decisions, but I kind of look at it as this is my mini adventure inside my grand adventure called my life. And so, okay, do I want to stretch around for 10 more minutes before I get up, or do I want to pop up out of bed suddenly? Just even those little decisions I can make different for each day that I'm alive, and see what I prefer.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the mundane routines that you have to do in life, you can still make decisions about those that would maybe make it more palatable to do them. I hate laundry, so I decide, well, do I want to do, wait until Saturday and do all of it at once, or do I want to do it, a little bit each day, or, do I want to get Thomas Gordon to help me fold the sheets, or do I want to try to do it myself, or, just things like that. I know that sounds kind of goofy, but that's helped me.
Oh, not at all. That sounds like variety, because I think that's part of it, isn't it? People get stuck in their way of doing things, and they do. I think we get bored. Like, even just at that little level, it's like we get a bit bored with ourselves when we're so used to doing things one way.
Yeah, and another thing I noticed too is that when I did a lot more TV watching, my time got very shortened and rushed. And I found that the less TV I watch, it seems like the more time I have. And I know that that's not true in a lot of ways, but I think it's because time seems slower when it's not chopped up into these 30-minute and hour-long intervals somehow. And also the aspect of multitasking. Many people watch TV or have it on while they're doing something else. And I think when you have full attention on something that you're engaged in, that time seems to expand, or at least that's how it feels to me. I think we fool ourselves into the whole multitasking idea, that's a good thing. I don't know.
Oh, that's good. I'm going to experiment with that one this week because I'm the queen of multitasking. And I often don't get things complete. Like I'm always feeling like I haven't actually completed very much because I'm always rushing around doing 10 things at once.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I still do that a lot too, but it seems like I get less flustered if I know. Oh, and another trick I can tell you, it's really funny. I'm really horrible about losing my phone and losing my keys.
Yeah.
And so now, instead of saying I lost my keys, like when I say it out loud, I don't say that anymore. I say, now keys, where are you hiding? Are you hiding from me? And I find it so much quicker when I do that. It's just crazy.
It is even interesting when you slow down and you start to become aware of the way you talk to yourself. Like, just
right.
I mean, there is and that you terrible keys, why are you running away from me?
Right. And like another thing I think I used to get into too was when that would happen, I would say, I always lose my keys. Well, then that sets a whole pattern of expectation, you know, and you always meet that expectation. I always lose my keys. Well, sure enough, next day I always lose my keys, you know, again and again. So I thought, well, let me be goofy and say something like that. And it really seemed to help, you know, and I think it's a more playful way to look at something. And I think that helps too, to make it into a game rather than making it into a chore. I don't know. I think that's why children are so freaking wonderful, because everything is a new day and a new experience and an adventure and a possibility, you know.
And even when you say that about the keys, I get this picture, you know, like from going, oh, where are my bloody keys? I'm sick of losing these things. I always lose them, to, like, you can just see you creeping around going, come on, little keys, where are you? So it's like you're going to tickle them when you find them.
That's right. That's right. Well, it was funny. I was driving home from work, and my physical therapist, she's a work friend, but she's also my supervisor. And we had our treatment. As soon as I finished with that patient, she was coming in to see that same patient. And then we got to talking and stuff, and I had to see another patient. So we both left the facility at the same time, where the two separate people were. And she was beside me in a different lane of traffic, and I got a red turn signal, and I nodded to the street light, and I said, thank you, out loud to the street light for letting me go, you know. And I'd happened to turn and look at her, and to look in the left lane as I was turning, and she was looking at me, laughing at me, because she knew what I'd said to the light.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how I do. I just feel like, gosh, it's nice to be appreciated. Some things like to be appreciated, even if they're supposedly inanimate. I mean, you know, my personal view is everything's made of atoms, and atoms vibrate and move. So I feel like everything is alive to some degree, or has some kind of conscious awareness, however blunt it may be. So
I'll have to remember
I don't know.
that when I'm talking to my computer.
Well, I'll tell you another trick. Before I got my work iPad, I had a laptop computer, and she was not very good to me. And then I named her Zelda, and she and I worked a lot better together. So sometimes it helps to call them by a name. I don't know. It helps.
That is absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad we got to talk to you this morning.
Oh,
very exciting.
Beautiful. I love seeing your sweet face. So luminous.
And I'm going to be in America in another couple of weeks, but I'm going to be in
I'm
Colorado
so excited.
again.
It'll be so beautiful during that time. You'll love it. It'll be so beautiful. You'll love it. So
yeah, and are you going to Ken's experience?
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh, that would be so lovely to be there at Glennis Park. Beautiful aspens on the lake. Well, not in the aspens. Well, you might be up the tree, because you probably would get up the tree.
Maybe, we'll see. So talking to you.
All right, my darling. Thanks for joining.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me. Okay, bye.
Yeah. Oh, what a surprise. What a sweet, sweet surprise. Just like her grapes. So sweet. So I feel so lucky that it's funny, we were talking about people popping up, and someone popped up. And to find the wonder, as she was saying, you know, even in the lost keys. Me, I swear, but I really enjoy swearing. But you know, just thinking about that blessing of the moment and that embracing of the moment. And this moment is the moment where I have to get in the car and go to school. So it's been lovely to be with you guys. And just remember, it is the perfect present. Da-da-da-da, the perfect present. So enjoy your perfect present, whatever it looks like. And if you're having any trickiness seeing the perfection in it, just keep tuned into Miracles and Wonder. You can find us at this web address.